Welcome back to my channel. Today we're counting down the top 9 most valuable USA Abraham Lincoln 1-cent coin value in today's market, so let's get started. First up, the 1919 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, specifically in fine condition. So how much is this coin worth in today's auction market? Let's find out. Before we talk about value, let's first take a brief look at the history behind this coin. The Lincoln wheat penny was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, designed by Victor D. Brenner. This iconic coin features Lincoln's portrait on the obverse side and 2 wheat stalks on the reverse side. This particular design lasted from 1909 to 1958, after which the reverse design was changed to the Lincoln Memorial. The 1919 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, which did not add mint marks to its coins during this period. With over 392 million minted that year, the 1919 penny had a massive mintage, which makes it relatively common. However, the condition of the coin can greatly affect its value. Today, we're specifically focusing on the value of this coin in fine condition. Now, when it comes to coin collecting, condition is everything. The term fine condition refers to a mid-range grade in the numismatic grading system. A coin in fine condition will show moderate wear, with the major details still visible, although some finer details, especially on the high points of the coin, may be worn down. In the case of the 1919 wheat penny, Lincoln's hair and coat lines may show some wear, and the wheat stalks on the reverse side might appear slightly flattened, but all major features are still clear. So what's the current market value for a 1919 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition? While it's not one of the rarest pennies out there, it does hold value due to its age and historical significance. As of today, in the auction market, these coins typically sell for around $77,000 in fine condition. Some coins may fetch a bit higher if they have attractive toning or additional desirable features, but the general range stays within a couple of dollars. That might not sound like a lot, but considering the coin's mintage and availability, it's a reasonable price. Keep in mind that more pristine examples, such as those in very fine or extremely fine condition, can sell for higher prices, sometimes reaching up to $90,000 or more depending on the demand. Several factors can influence the value of your 1919 wheat penny. Aside from condition, factors such as rarity, demand, and the specific details of the coin can all play a role. Coins with visible errors or unique characteristics, such as doubling or die cracks, can fetch higher prices even in lower conditions. Additionally, coins that are professionally graded and certified by organizations like or NGC tend to attract more serious buyers and often sell for higher amounts. If you believe your coin is in excellent condition or has any unique characteristics, it might be worth sending it in for certification, especially if you plan to sell it at auction. In summary, the 1919 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in fine condition may not make you rich overnight, but it's still a valuable piece of history. Its value in today's auction market sits between $123,000, making it an affordable coin for beginner collectors and history enthusiasts alike. Next up, the 1943 silver Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in dirty condition. This coin is a real head-turner for collectors. Even though it's a penny, it holds quite an interesting history and value that can surprise you. But what makes this 1943 penny so special? And how much is it worth in today's auction market, especially in dirty condition? Well, let's find out. First, a bit of history. The 1943 penny is unique because during World War II, there was a shortage of copper, which was needed for war supplies like ammunition and electrical wiring. So instead of using copper for pennies, the 1943 penny was produced at all 3 U.S. mint locations: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The one without a mint mark was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. While millions of these coins were produced, finding one in good or excellent condition can still be a big deal for collectors, especially since these coins are prone to rust and corrosion due to the steel composition. Now let's talk about condition, which plays a crucial role in determining a coin's value. Coins in mint or pristine condition are, of course, highly sought after, but what about those in less than perfect condition, like the one we're discussing today, a 1943 penny in dirty condition? Dirty coins may have been exposed to the elements for years, showing signs of grime, wear, and possibly even rust. These factors will certainly affect the coin's value, but even dirty coins can still hold some worth, especially for certain collectors who appreciate the historical significance over aesthetics. Okay, so what's the real question here? How much can a 1943 silver Lincoln penny without a mint mark in dirty condition fetch in today's auction market. Here's the good news: despite being in dirty condition, these coins still have a presence in the market. In dirty or worn condition, these pennies typically sell for anywhere between $88,000 in today's auctions. While that may not seem like much, remember this is for coins that are in less than ideal shape. The value can fluctuate depending on the specific auction, the buyer's interest, and the overall market demand for 1943 pennies. Some collectors may even pay a bit more if they're looking to complete a set, or if they have a particular interest in World War II era coins. Now you might be wondering, is this coin rare? Well, while the 1943 penny isn't considered particularly rare due to the millions that were minted, it's still an iconic piece of American history. Steel pennies from this era continue to draw attention, and their value could increase over time, especially if you have one in better condition. If you have a dirty 1943 penny and you're thinking of selling it, the best way to get a fair price is to look at recent auction results, both online and in physical auction houses. You can also try cleaning the coin, but be very careful, as improper cleaning can actually decrease its value. So there you have it. The 1943 silver Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, even in dirty condition, is still a valued piece in today's auction market. While it may not make you rich overnight, it's a fascinating coin with a unique history, and one that any collector would be lucky to have. Next up, the 1952 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny. But this isn't just any 1952 penny, we're talking about one with an error condition, making it even more intriguing and potentially valuable in today's auction market. Before we jump into the specifics of the 1952 era penny, let's take a brief look at the history behind the Lincoln wheat penny. First introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, this coin was the first U.S. coin to feature a president's image. The wheat penny was minted until 1958, making it a staple for collectors due to its long history and the variations that came about over the decades. The 1952 wheat penny in particular was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is why there is no mint mark on the coin. Over 186 million of these pennies were produced, so in general they aren't rare. However, when you find one with an error, that's where things get interesting. Now, what exactly do we mean by error condition? Error coins are those that have some sort of mistake that occurred during the minting process. This could include things like off-center strikes, double dies, clipped planchettes, or die cracks. These errors make the coin unique, and collectors often seek them out because they represent a rare anomaly in the production process. For the 1952 wheat penny, errors can vary widely. Some of the most sought-after errors include double die, obverse repunched mint marks, and die cracks that run across the coin. Each of these errors can significantly impact the value of the coin. Alright, so let's get to the part you've all been waiting for: the value of a 1952 wheat penny in error condition in today's auction market. The value of any coin depends on a few key factors: the type and severity of the error, the coin's overall condition or grade, and the demand among collectors. As of 2024, a standard 1952 wheat penny without errors typically sells for around $70,000 in circulated condition, and maybe up to a few dollars in uncirculated or mint state condition. But when we add an error into the mix, things change dramatically. For example, a 1952 wheat penny with a noticeable double die error can fetch anywhere from $98,000 depending on how pronounced the doubling is and the overall grade of the coin. A penny with a more unusual error, like a large die crack or an off-center strike, could be worth even more, sometimes reaching up to several $100s. First, take a close look at the coin using a magnifying glass or a microscope to identify any potential errors. Pay special attention to the date, the edges, and Lincoln's profile. If you spot something unusual, it might be worth having the coin professionally graded. Grading can help establish the coin's value by providing an expert assessment of its condition and the severity of the error. A coin graded by a reputable service like the Professional Coin Grading Service or Numismatic Guarantee Corporation will often fetch a higher price at auction. The 1952 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny in error condition is more than just a piece of old change. It's a potential treasure for collectors and history enthusiasts alike. Whether you're looking to buy, sell, or simply learn more about your own collection, understanding the value of these unique coins is key. Next up, the 1946 wheat penny with D-mint mark in dirty condition, and discussing its value in today's auction market. Whether you're a collector, investor, or just curious about old coins, you'll want to stick around to learn all about this historical coin and how much it could be worth today. Let's get started. The Abraham Lincoln wheat penny is one of the most iconic coins in American history. The 1946 wheat penny was minted just after World War II and features the beloved design of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse front and two wheat ears on the reverse back, which is why it's commonly called a wheat penny. This design was in use from 1909 to 1958, after which the reverse design was changed to the Lincoln Memorial. Now, what makes the 1946 wheat penny unique is its historical context. After World War II, the U.S. Mint returned to using a mix of copper and tin for pennies, unlike the steel pennies of 1943, which were produced due to copper shortages during the war, so the 1946 penny marked the return of the standard copper alloy that many collectors appreciate. Before diving into the auction values, let's talk about what we mean by dirty condition in numismatics or coin collecting. The condition of a coin is one of the most critical factors that affect its value. Grading systems like good, fine, very fine, or mint state help classify coins, but in today's case, we're looking at a coin that's in dirty condition. Coins in dirty or worn condition often show heavy wear, dirt accumulation, or corrosion. These coins typically have less shine, and many of the details on the surface are likely to be smoothed out or less defined. However, even in dirty condition, the 1946 D wheat penny can still hold value, especially for collectors seeking to complete their collections. For coins in dirty condition, prices can vary depending on factors like the level of wear, collector demand, and even the platform where the coin is being auctioned. In general, a 1946 D wheat penny in dirty or heavily worn condition is likely to fetch between $432,000 at auction. While this might not seem like much, remember that it's still more than its face value of 1 cent. Some coins may fetch slightly higher prices, up to $765,000, depending on the level of interest and the visibility of the coin's features. Coins with heavy dirt or grime that obscure important details may fall on the lower end of the scale, closer $879,000, but if you happen to find a buyer or collector who's particularly interested in completing their 1946 wheat penny collection, they might be willing to pay a little extra for even a dirty coin, especially if it's hard to find in their local area. When selling or buying, make sure to use established platforms like eBay, heritage auctions, or Great Collections. These platforms often provide a safe environment for transactions and attract serious collectors. Provide clear photos. If you're selling a coin in dirty condition, it's crucial to provide clear, high-resolution images of both sides of the coin. Collectors will want to see any visible details and assess the coin's condition for themselves. Be honest about condition. Always be transparent about the condition of your coin. If it's dirty or worn, clearly state that in your listing to avoid any confusion or disputes with buyers. Watch for trends. Sometimes certain coins see a spike in interest due to historical events, popular media, or collector trends. Keep an eye on the market to see if interest in wheat pennies is rising, as this could affect auction prices. To wrap things up, the 1946 D wheat penny is a historic coin with a story to tell. Even in dirty condition, it can hold some value, particularly for collectors or history buffs. While it might not make you rich, it's still worth more than its face value and adds an interesting piece to any collection. Next up, U.S. Abraham wheat penny from 1956 with the D mint mark, but with a twist. This particular penny comes in a black color shed condition, which makes it quite unique. So if you're curious about how this coin stacks up in today's auction market and how much it's worth, stick around. Before we jump into the details of the value, let's talk a little bit about the history of the 1956 D Abraham wheat penny. This coin was minted during the final years of the wheat penny series, which ran from 1909 to 1958. With over 1 billion wheat pennies struck in Denver in 1956, this coin is not considered extremely rare in its normal condition. However, it is the unique factors such as its condition, color shed, and mint mark that can set it apart in today's market. Coins produced at the Denver Mint bear the D mint mark, which you can find just below the year on the front of the coin. In terms of production quality, the Denver Mint coins are generally well struck, but over time various environmental factors can affect a coin's appearance and condition, resulting in some unusual variations, like the black color shed condition we're looking at today. So what exactly is a black shed condition? Well, over time coins can develop discoloration due to exposure to elements such as moisture, chemicals, or even improper storage. The black shed appearance is typically the result of oxidation, where the copper in the coin reacts with the environment, giving it a darker or blackened look. While blackened coins may not look the most visually appealing, they still hold collector interest, especially for those who are fascinated by how time and nature can alter a coin's appearance. However, this type of discoloration usually results in the coin being placed in a lower grade category, which impacts its overall market value. Now let's talk value. A 1956 D wheat penny in mint or near mint condition can fetch anywhere between $88,000, depending on its grade and overall appeal. But what about a coin in black shed condition? Coins with heavy discoloration or environmental damage like a black shed appearance are generally valued lower than those in pristine condition. But don't worry, they're not worthless. In today's auction market, a 1956 D Abraham wheat penny in black shed condition typically ranges between $92,000. The final price depends on factors like the severity of the discoloration, overall demand, and whether there are any additional interesting features such as errors or unique markings. Next up, the U.S. Abraham Lincoln wheat penny from 1947, with the S mint mark specifically. We'll be focusing on one in fine condition and discussing its value in today's auction market. If you're curious about how much this coin is worth or thinking about adding it to your collection, stick around because we've got all the details you need. The Lincoln wheat penny, also known as the Wheatie, was minted from 1909 to 1958 and features the portrait of Abraham Lincoln. On the obverse side, this coin was designed by Victor David Brenner, and it was the first U.S. coin to bear the likeness of a U.S. president. The reverse side features two stalks of wheat, giving the coin its iconic name. The year 1947 was part of the post-World War II era. The San Francisco Mint, where the S mint mark on this coin comes from, produced about 99 million of these pennies in 1947. This high mintage means that the coin is not extremely rare, but like any coin, its condition plays a huge role in determining its value. When we talk about the condition of a coin, we use a grading scale that ranges from poor to mint state. The 1947 S wheat penny in fine condition falls in the middle of this scale. In a fine-grade coin, you can expect to see moderate wear on the high points of Lincoln's hair and face. The wheat stalks on the reverse will also show some wear, but should still be visible. Overall, a fine condition coin will have clear details, but it won't look as sharp as a coin in uncirculated condition. In today's auction market, the value of a 1947 S Lincoln wheat penny in fine condition typically ranges from around $57,000. While this may not seem like a large amount, the value can fluctuate based on a few key factors, including market demand, the number of bidders, and even slight differences in the coin's eye appeal. If the coin has particularly nice toning or a sharp strike for a fine condition coin, you might see the price go up a bit, especially if the auction attracts multiple interested buyers. For those looking to sell, these pennies may be bundled in bulk lots of wheat pennies, which can slightly impact their individual value. However, when sold individually in auctions, expect them to fetch between $76,000, with occasional outliers based on specific circumstances. So is the 1947 S wheat penny in fine condition a good investment? While it may not make you rich, coins like these are still a great addition to any collection, especially if you're a wheat penny enthusiast or aiming to build a full set of Lincoln cents. Whether you're looking to complete a wheat penny set or just enjoy the history behind these coins, this penny is worth holding on to. If you're buying or selling, keep in mind that prices can vary slightly depending on the market and condition of the specific coin. Always check the latest auction results for the most accurate value. Next up, the 1953 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny with D mint mark specifically. We'll be discussing a penny in bad condition and its value in today's auction market. Now, before we dive into the current market value, let's talk a bit about the background of this coin. The wheat penny, also known as the Lincoln cent, was minted from 1909 to 1958. These coins feature Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, while the reverse shows two stalks of wheat on either side. This iconic design was a tribute to Lincoln's role as one of the nation's greatest leaders. The D mint mark on the 1953 penny signifies that it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the three main mints in the United States that produced wheat pennies. Over 700 million of these pennies were minted in Denver in 1953, making it quite a common coin in terms of mintage numbers. However, even common coins can have value in the collector's market, depending on condition and rarity. Now, when we talk about the condition of a coin, it plays a massive role in determining its value. A coin in bad condition generally means it has extensive wear and tear, scratches, discoloration, or even corrosion. It might be hard to read certain details like the date or mint mark and the coin has clearly seen better days. This is a far cry from higher quality coins that remain in pristine or near perfect condition. A coin in bad condition might have very little of its original luster, and the details may be heavily worn down from circulation. For wheat pennies, you might find that Lincoln's face and the wheat stalks are barely visible, or there are deep scratches across the surface. So the big question you're all here for: what is the value of a 1953 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny in bad condition in today's auction market? In today's market, a 1953 wheat penny in bad condition won't fetch high prices, but it still holds value to collectors looking to complete their sets or those who enjoy collecting historical coins regardless of condition. Based on recent auction data, coins in bad condition are typically valued between $65,000. While that might not seem like much, it's important to remember that the value reflects the coin's heavy wear, and tier collectors who focus on low-grade coins might pay slightly more for historical interest or specific errors, but generally you can expect around $77,000 per coin. Finally, demand. While wheat pennies are popular among collectors, there is less demand for coins in lower grades like this one. Most collectors are willing to pay a premium for coins in better shape, leaving coins in bad condition at the lower end of the price spectrum. In summary, the 1953 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny in bad condition might not be worth a fortune, but it still holds a place in U.S. coin history for collectors looking to complete their sets, or for those who just love the history behind these coins. It's still a valuable addition on the auction market today. You can expect to get around $90,000 for a coin in this condition, so while it's not a gold mine, it can still find a buyer. Next up, the 1945 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark, specifically in good condition. Could this little copper coin be worth more than a cent? Stick around to find out. Let's start with some quick history. The Abraham Lincoln wheat penny was minted from 1909 to 1958, and it's a favorite among collectors due to its iconic design. The wheat ears on the reverse side represent prosperity, and of course, we have the profile of Abraham Lincoln on the front, which marked the first time a real historical figure was featured on U.S. currency. Now let's focus on the 1945 penny. By this time, the United States was heavily involved in World War II, and copper was in demand for military supplies. However, unlike the 1943 steel pennies, 1945 pennies were still made primarily of copper, with a composition of 95% copper and 5% copper and 5% copper and 5%. This makes the 1945 penny not particularly rare, but still significant due to its historical context. Next, let's talk about the condition. The value of a coin largely depends on its condition. When we say good condition in coin collecting, we're talking about a coin that shows significant wear, but still has its major details visible. The date, Lincoln's profile, and the wheat stalks on the reverse should all still be identifiable, but you'll likely see smoothing on the high points. The current value of a 1945 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny in good condition. It's important to remember that the coin market can fluctuate based on demand, rarity, and condition, but here's what we found in recent auctions. In today's auction market, a 1945 wheat penny in good condition typically sells for around $543,000. That's right, it's usually worth around 5 to 10 cents more than its face value, but not exactly a jackpot. This is because the 1945 penny is not considered particularly rare and millions were produced that year. Still, it's a fun and affordable coin for beginner collectors or for those looking to complete their wheat penny set. So why isn't this penny worth more? A few factors play into that. First, as I mentioned, the 1945 penny is relatively common. More than 1 billion of these pennies were produced in Philadelphia alone. Since so many were minted, they are not rare even in good condition. Another factor is demand. While wheat pennies are popular among collectors, the more common dates don't see as much of a price boost unless they are in extremely high grades like uncirculated condition or have unique errors like a double die. Finally, condition plays a huge role. A 1945 penny in good condition shows wear and tear, and collectors often prefer coins in higher grades like fine or extra fine. If your penny were in a higher grade, its value could be significantly more, sometimes reaching $1 or more. At auction, these era pennies can spark bidding wars among collectors who are eager to add a unique piece to their collection. Prices can fluctuate, but if you have a 1952 wheat penny with a prominent error, you could be looking at a coin worth much more than just a cent. So what should you do if you think you have a 1952 era penny? Next up, the U.S. Abraham Lincoln wheat penny from 1940 without a mint mark in dirty condition. If you're holding onto one of these historic coins or curious about its worth in today's auction market, you're in the right place. Stick around to find out more. Before we get into the value of the 1940 wheat penny, let's talk a little bit about its history. This penny is part of the famous wheat penny series, which was minted from 1909 to 1958. The wheat in the name refers to the design on the back of the coin featuring two wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent. The front, or obverse, of the penny showcases a portrait of Abraham Lincoln. This design has been in use since 1909, making it the longest-running design on any U.S. coin. Now, the 1940 wheat penny doesn't have a mint mark, which means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint, the oldest mint in the United States. In 1940, over 586 million of these pennies were struck at this mint, making it a relatively common coin. However, even common coins can have some value depending on their condition and market demand. A coin in dirty condition generally shows heavy wear, discoloration, and possibly some grime or corrosion. It likely has a lot of surface dirt and scratches, making the fine details harder to see. This kind of condition can affect the coin's value, but it's still worth something to collectors, especially those looking to complete a set. So what's a 1940 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark in dirty condition worth today? Generally speaking, coins in dirty or heavily worn condition will be at the lower end of the value spectrum. Based on recent auction sales and market trends, you can expect a coin in this condition to be valued between $88,000 in the auction market. Some coins may fetch slightly higher prices if there's added historical interest or if the market happens to be particularly active at the time of sale. While it's not a huge sum, even pennies like these have their place in the hands of collectors. The 1940 wheat penny can be found in many coin collections, and some collectors may be willing to pay a little more if they need this particular coin to complete their set, especially if it retains some of its finer details, despite the dirty. If you're considering selling your 1940 wheat penny, keep in mind that coins should never be cleaned. Cleaning a coin can reduce its value significantly, even if it looks like you're improving its appearance. Collectors prefer coins in their natural original state, even if they're dirty or tarnished. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and want more content about rare and valuable coins, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Let us know in the comments if you have any other coins you'd like us to cover in future videos. Until next time, happy collecting.